Nice town with quiet, nice people, but 3 months is a long time to stay in one place. I had made a friend, though, Sheriff Ed Fishman. One says goodbye to friends.
Howdy, Vent.
Hi, Sheriff.
Not pulling out already?
You the sheriff here?
I reckon so.
I'm Captain Clayton, U.S. Cavalry. These 2 men are my aides.
You people are kind of a long way from home base, aren't you, Captain?
And who might you be, mister?
My name's Bonner, Vint Bonner.
Don't tell me you've never heard of Vent Bonner.
I can't say that I've had that pleasure, but I'm sure Mr. Bonner will excuse us while we discuss some government business.
Now, wait a minute, Captain. Come on in, Vent. I haven't had a proper chance to say goodbye.
Don't be too hard on the young fella. He doesn't mean any harm, you know.
My orders, Sheriff. I think they pertain to you.
I really should be going, Ed. I'll call up to old Jesse for you.
Did you say old Jesse, Mr. Bonner?
That's right. Do you know him?
You ever seen anything like this?
I can't say that I have. Have you, Vent?
Gold. Odd-looking coin.
Yes, it is unusual. There was only one minting of those coins, and they were on a quartermaster train lost in this vicinity in '64 on or about the 19th day of October.
That's going on 20 years ago.
That's correct, Mr. Bonner. None of that gold shipment was ever recovered. Not until 6 weeks ago, then only those 2 coins.
You mean you come here to investigate old Jesse?
Investigate and interrogate.
Well, you're going to have to find him first.
That shouldn't be so difficult, Sheriff.
That's what you think. Why, Vent Bonner here is just about the only one that can get you within even talking range of that old man.
Are you a professional guide, Mr. Bonner?
I'm going that way. I'll be glad to point out old Jesse's place to you.
I've been empowered by the government of the United States to offer up to $100 American for a guide when deemed necessary to reach my destination. That's a government draft.
I've seen him before.
Shall we be on our way then?
Good day, Sheriff. How's your voice, Captain?
What do you mean?
I mean, can you be heard 100 yards?
Well, I think so. Why?
I think that's about as close as you're going to get to old Jesse. Well, that's Jesse's place. They're up on top of the hill. So how much did you say was in that shipment of gold?
About $500,000, mostly in gold ingot.
That would be pretty heavy, wouldn't it?
Oh, about 1.5 tons.
1.5 tons? Well, how do you expect an old man to get 1.5 tons of gold up that hill?
Well, suppose I ask him that. Now, you've done your job, Mr. Bonner. I think I can handle it from here.
Captain, if you don't mind, I think I'll stick around.
Right, miss.
Like that was your 100 yards, Captain. Maybe you better let me try at it.
Jesse! Hold it a gall-darn minute, it's a friend!
I ain't got no friends. So go on about your business before I bring my aim down where it ought to be.
Did you hear what I said? It's Vint!
Vint? That you, Vint?
Of course it's me!
Come up a little closer so I can get a better look at you, Vint. Be careful, mind you. That's far enough, Vint. Now, what's on your mind?
Now look, Jesse. I want to talk to you. Close up and private. I'm coming up all the way.
I I knew the old saw about curiosity killing the cat. With all this hardware around, it stood a good chance of killing me.
Jesse? Jesse?
Up me out, Vin, where I can see him.
Take it easy, Jesse. Look, where in the world did you get all of these guns?
Never you mind about that. What you doing down there with all them Yankee soldiers?
Well, now, Jesse, just relax. I came up here to talk to you a little bit.
I can only see 3 or 4 of them. Old eyes ain't so good no more like they used to be. But there must be 100 of them hid out down there under cover.
No, Jesse, there's no 100.
Not that I blame them, mind you. Because I used to be a crack shot in my younger days when my eyes was better. Because even now I could pick enough of them off so they'd never know what hit them.
Yeah, Jesse, I'm sure you could, but now listen to me. There's no 100 soldiers down there. There's just 3, a captain and 2 aides. And we came up here...
We? Which side you on, Vin?
Jesse, don't be ridiculous. There's no sides anymore. The war's over.
Don't sweet-talk me, son. Which side you on?
Jesse, I'm on your side. Any side you're on, I'm on. Yeah.
Yeah, I know it. I knowed it, son. I knowed it. You know, you and me betwixt us could stand off the whole doggone Union Army.
Bet we could.
There's the side I'm on. That's the side I fit on. Fit with them 4 years. I'd fight with them 4 more years, too, if they was to need me. You see that flag there, son? Yeah. General Lee himself give me that flag. Yes, sir, Robert E. Lee. Come riding up there on that big old white horse of his and, what is it, Traveler, his name was. He called me right out of the ranks, and he said to me, yeah. What them doggone Yankees want with me anyway?
Well, Jesse, it doesn't make any difference now. It couldn't be true anyway.
What do you mean don't make no difference? Man like you ain't gonna come all the way up here about something that don't make no difference, risking a shot from my gun? And what is this here that can't be true?
Well, that young Union officer seems to think that you've got over a ton of gold stashed in the shack up here.
This here ain't no shack. This here is my home. Shack. Intelligent young fella like you ain't gonna think that a old man like me got all that gold stashed away up here, is you?
Well, I admit, Jesse, it isn't very likely.
No, it ain't likely, but it could be true.
How would you get it up here?
You?
Oh, Jesse, this rough country, all that weight, you'd kill a mule.
I did. Kill 4 of them. Doggone, I killed myself, toting all of you on my own back after the mules all died.
Now, wait just a minute, Jesse. That's absolutely impossible.
Impossible. I'm telling you the truth. I know what I got up here.
Well, I know this much. You haven't got that gold up here, not that much of it anyway.
Oh, you think you know so doggone. You think you're so doggone smart. You think you know everything, don't you? Just hold your horses, son. Just hold your horses. Look at here. Prize of war, son. Prize of war.
Well, the prize of war. Jesse, the war's over.
No, not for me, it ain't. We whooped them fair and square in 61 and 62 before them Yankees started resorting to all them tricks. Why, at Vicksburg, if them Yankees hadn't blowed their bugles all night, so we couldn't get a wink of sleep. A fighting man can't fight without sleep.
Jesse.
Then at Antietam, if a Yankee spy hadn't put a whiskey in the horse's feed, we'd have whooped them mad, too.
Jesse, will you listen to me?
Then at Shiloh, them beans we captured from the Yankees, how did we know them beans was wormy?
Jesse, listen to me. I know how you feel about the war, but what's that got to do with all this gold?
Well, seeing as how they didn't win the war, fair and square resorting to all them tricks, appears to me like they ought to surrender.
They ought to what?
Surrender! And seeing as how I'm about the only fighting man the South has got left, it looks to me like they ought to surrender to me. 'Cause that's the only way they're ever gonna get that gold.
Mr. Bonner, I'm an officer of the United States Army. My first and only concern is the successful disposition of my mission. Now, I've been ordered to retrieve that gold. I intend to do so.
No matter what the cost.
Need I inform you, Bonner, that any interference by civilians might be regarded as treason?
You can locate no telegraph, sir. Why, they're in a telegraph office within 50 miles.
As you were, Jenks. Well, then the four of us will have to enter that shack.
The three of you.
You have a short memory, Bonner. As I recall, you are still in Army employ.
Captain, the Army employed me to guide them to old Jesse's shack. I've done that.
Have it as you will, the three of us.
And I hope you've notified your next of kin, because the three of you aren't coming back.
One old man against 3 cavalry troopers? It's hardly a match.
But I've seen that old man's arsenal, and I think he's gonna win.
Ridiculous.
Captain.
Yes.
Begging your pardon, sir, meaning no disrespect, but don't you think Mr. Bonner has a point, sir? That Gatling gun and all, sir?
And all what, Jenks?
Well, sir, Mr. Bonner has already told us that shack's built like a fort.
That's Mr. Bonner's opinion.
Begging the captain's pardon again, sir. But that's my opinion, too, sir.
That'll be enough, Jenks.
Yes, sir.
Well, it seems you've made a convert.
Well, think of it this way, Captain. How would it look on the record if you and your aides failed to take the gold from that old man?
What do you mean, how would it look?
Embarrassing. Now, it wouldn't hurt to check with your superior officer, you know. Aside from the field piece and the Gatling gun, I saw a number of other weapons.
Mr. Bonner, have a chair.
Thank you, General.
Now, would you please start at the beginning?
Yes, sir, I'll try, but like you say, it's a little confusing. Well, let me see. In the first place, it's possible that the North didn't win the Civil War.
What?
Maybe I better start again. Did you ever hear of the 1st Texas Cavalry, sir?
What Union soldier within 1,000 miles of the Mississippi hasn't?
Well, that was old Jesse's outfit.
Well, it was a fine force. I know because I fought against it. And if old Jesse was a member of that outfit, he was quite a soldier in his day.
Well, that's what he says. He also says, he said that the North didn't win the war. Fair and square, that is. He said that, for instance, at Vicksburg, the Northern buglers kept blowing their horns all night and kept the Southern soldiers awake, and that's why they lost the battle. And at Antietam, a Northern's put whiskey in the horse feed, and some of the Southern horses were drunk.
Mr. Bonner, will you please make some sense?
Well, let me put it this way, General. Jesse occupies an impregnable position on a cliff against a mountain wall. Pete guards every approach. Aside from a field piece and a Gatling gun, he's got enough small arms to last for weeks. There's bound to be bloodshed.
Can it be avoided?
I think so, General, if you let me arrange a surrender.
Mr. Bonner, the South surrendered 20 years ago.
No, General, I don't think you understand what I mean. What I mean is, I want to arrange for you to surrender to Jesse.
Mr. Bonner, you must be completely and totally out of your mind.
Maybe I am, General, but I thought the government wanted that gold back.
Well, of course they do.
Well, this way they could get it back without firing a shot and with no bloodshed.
Well, of course the government can use the gold, all right, but you'll have to give me time to see if this can be arranged.
Well, by all means, General, take all the time you want.
It's amazing what gold will buy these days.
You're so right, General. Jesse? Jesse?
I'm right behind you, Vint.
Jesse, come on out here. I want to talk to you. Now, sit down over here, will you? Just sit down. And will you give me the gun, will you?
No, I ain't gonna give you my gun.
Put it down on the table.
I don't feel comfortable without my gun.
I don't feel very comfortable with you. We'll just put it down on the table.
Put it right here?
Yeah, you can grab it anytime you want it.
That's handy so I can grab it if I need it.
Jesse, I just talked with this General Ballison.
General, who?
General Ballison, he's the Union commander here in Kansas.
Ah, Yankee.
Well, he's a soldier just like you are.
That don't make no difference. He's still a Yankee.
Well, he'd heard about your troop. Said you were just about the best fighters in the whole war. Said he wouldn't want to tangle with you under any circumstances.
Did he?
That's right.
Oh, go on. You know, that shows uncommon good sense. That is for a Yankee.
Said he'd like to meet up with you sometime. To put it in his words, to pay respects to a worthy opponent.
Oh, Vin. You're joking.
No, I'm not. I'm just repeating what the general said.
Well, you know, you're kind of making it hard for me to stay mad at him.
Well, Jesse, since you feel that way, and since he wants to talk to you, why don't you meet with him, soldier to soldier?
Yeah, that might not be a bad idea. Maybe I will. Of course, on the other hand, maybe I won't.
Welcome to Shelby, General.
Thank you, Mr. Bonner. I expect you've made the necessary arrangements.
Yes, sir. 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, Mars Clearing, if that's all right with you.
I find that acceptable. Until 10 o'clock then. Captain, you'll find a suitable site near Mars Clearing.
Yes, sir.
Corporal, carry on.
Jesse, it's getting late. Sun's getting high. Jesse!
Don't get yourself in a uproar, Vin. I gotta iron the wrinkles out of this here uniform. Tain't fitting to appear before no general in it like this, even if he is a Yankee. All right.
Come on, Jesse, time's wasting.
I'm coming, Vin. I'm coming.
Well, that looks just fine. Turn around, let me see.
First time I had this thing on in more than 20 years.
Yes, sir. What's that?
What's this here?
Now, look, Jesse.
Doggone it. I told you I didn't feel comfortable without it.
Well, this is one time you're gonna have to feel comfortable without it. Now go on out and get on your mule. I'll be right out. Go on.
All right.
Whom am I addressing, sir?
Jesse R. McKeither, Sergeant, C Company, 1st Texas Cavalry.
I am General Thomas Balderson, commander of the Military District of Kansas. I am proud to meet you, Sergeant McKee.
I'm certainly proud to meet you too, sir.
In respect and tribute to your superior military ability and position, Sergeant, I would deem it a great honor if I may offer a token of respect from myself and the Army of the United States. Do I have your leave, sir?
Yes, you surely have. You're very kind, sir. You know, I never thought I'd live to see the day when I'd be saying that to a Yankee. But I can't take your sword, sir, because I know how important them things is to a military man.
It's offered in all sincerity, Sergeant. I would take it as a personal affront if you did not accept. I consider it a point of honor.
Thank you, sir. Thank you kindly. I'll treasure this year to my dying day. I'll never forget you, General. Never, sir.
And I'm quite sure I'll remember you for a long time, too, Sergeant. Captain?
Yes, sir.
You will retrieve the gold at the sergeant's convenience, and mark you it must be done with honor.
Did you hear what the man said?
I heard him, Jesse.
He said he would consider it a personal insult if I didn't take his sword, and he said he would never forget me. We whooped him, Vin, we whooped him. Ain't that something?
That's something. Windy October day, fast coming on toward night. It was plain that the winter snows weren't far away. I couldn't help thinking how good a nice hot cup of coffee would taste.
Well, I know we've been on the trail 3 days, but sitting here ain't getting the job done. Yours can't be too far off now.
It's all right. Hello there,
there, John. You're a long way from home.
Hello, Vint. I might say the same about you. Want a cup of coffee? There's some hot.
In this weather? You kidding?
Didn't see anything of a rider in the past few hours, did you?
It's kind of a lonely stretch of trail back there. I take it you mean a particular rider.
Yes, Vint, he's particular. He's a killer. He don't kill for the reasons most men do. It's like he enjoys it.
I've met that kind once or twice.
Not like Matt Pierce, you haven't. He killed a whole family for a few dollars and a fresh horse.
What?
A whole family, Vint. At a little place a few miles out of Carlsberg. In all my life, I never saw anything like I saw at that little farm.
I guess I never did meet that kind before.
I figure since the bridge over Silver Canyon on the trail ahead's been washed out by all this rain we've been having, Pierce cut out south along the canyon. We'll catch up to him sometime tomorrow.
Do you want me to ride with you, John?
No, thanks. There is something you can do, Vint. Remember Melanie?
Melanie? Of course I do. How is she?
She's married, Vint. Lives on a little ranch not 2 miles from here, north along the canyon.
She was one of the prettiest girls I ever knew. Did she make a good marriage?
Why don't you stop by and say hello? I think she'd be glad to see you.
You didn't answer my question.
I reckon that's a hard question to answer, Vint. She might like the comfort of having you around in case we figured wrong and Matt Pierce is still hereabouts. Matter of fact, I was going to leave one of the men off there just in case.
What's wrong with her husband?
Well, we've got to be riding, Vint. The way them clouds are gathering, looks like the storm ain't over yet. So long, Vint.
I'm looking for Melanie. Melanie?
Melanie?
Why, what a surprise.
Melanie.
It's been so long, Ben.
5 years.
How have you been?
Just fine, thanks. And you?
Fine. I was down at the barn, putting stock away. Looks like rainstorm's coming up.
More like a thunderstorm. Should strike any minute.
The last time I heard about you were in Arizona.
Guess I haven't got any roots.
I know.
I ran into Sheriff Bronson from over at Carlsberg. He told me you lived over here, and I just thought I'd drop by and say hello.
Yes, the sheriff was by here earlier. In fact, when I saw your horse outside, I was worried that you might be...
Matt Pierce.
We don't have many visitors here. Jim and me. Would you like some supper? I can warm something.
Yes, thank you. I am some hungry.
He's my husband.
What's wrong with him?
He's paralyzed.
How do you manage here all alone?
I have a hired hand. Old Josh. He went down at Eagle Cut this afternoon for supplies. Should be back pretty soon now.
Melanie, does your husband know I'm here? In this room?
Jim doesn't even know I'm in this room.
Melanie? Melanie? Melanie!
That's Eben. I guess the thunder scares him. He's not very smart. Melanie's the only word he ever learned.
I can remember when they might have said that about me.
Come on, Junie, come on. What's the matter with you? We're already late for supper. Melanie will be turning in before we get there. Come on, come on. Oh, what? Anybody want to go and do a thing like that for Junie?
Hope you liked your dinner, Vint.
There's nothing I like better than chicken and dumplings.
Jim's favorite. Or it was. Jim wasn't always the way he is now, Vint. He used to be strong, like you. I guess after you left Carlsberg, I looked for a little bit of you in every man that I met.
Melanie, you don't have to tell me anything you don't want to.
I've got to tell somebody.
All right.
But you know how I used to be. I was very young when I knew you. And I guess I was pretty then.
You still are.
I guess I got too much attention.
Including mine.
Well, about 3 years ago, I met Jim. We fell in love right off. And he asked me to marry him.
What did he do?
He was foreman on a cattle ranch. This place was to be the start of our own little ranch. Then I ruined everything for us.
How could you do that?
Jim went out of town. He was to be gone about a week. Fellow I used to know asked me to the Saturday night dance. You know me, I never could turn down a dance.
I remember.
Well, we hadn't been there very long. He'd had too much to drink, like he always did. I asked him to take me home. When we got outside...
No, Melanie, you ain't serious about leaving the dance. We just barely got here.
Charlie, I asked you to take me home.
Why? Because I've been drinking? That didn't used to bother you so much.
You know things aren't the same anymore, Charlie.
No, I guess they're not. Little Melanie's got herself engaged to a big, strong cow pusher, Jim Carter. But when he's out of town, Melanie comes back to good old Charlie.
I shouldn't have come here with you tonight. Now, please, take me home.
All right. I'll take you home.
Melanie! What are you doing here?
Nothing at all. I just came for the dance.
We didn't mean to rile you, cowboy. Now, did we, Melanie?
You ought to know better, Charlie.
Melanie, I don't know what to say to you. You're gonna be sorry you did that, cowboy.
I'm taking you home, Melanie.
Look out, Jim!
Get away from me. Leave me alone. I can get up by myself.
We'll help you, Jim. We'll get you to the dock.
We took him to the doctor's. But there was nothing old Doc Adams could do. Several weeks passed, and Jim still couldn't move his legs. Doc said that the bullet injured his spine, but that the paralysis was only temporary. It was more of a sickness of his mind than it was of his body. All because of me.
Look, blaming yourself isn't going to help. Maybe what you did was wrong, but certainly the penalty you're paying is too much.
I thought maybe if I could prove to him that I really did love him, it would help. We were married in Carlsberg. About 2 years ago, came out here to live. Jim said I married him out of pity. Then he just stopped talking altogether. He hasn't said a word now in months. He just keeps staring as though he would die.
Looks like I got you in here just in time. Yeah, get your clothes off.
Jim, if you could only hear me. Who are you? What do you want?
Well, ma'am, it's storming out.
I'm sorry, but you'll have to find someplace else to stay.
How come he don't ask me to leave? How come he don't say nothing?
He's sick.
Yeah? Sheriff was by here earlier, wasn't he?
Yes, and he'll be back. He knows you're around to...
And I reckon you know who I am.
Yes?
Sheriff ain't coming back. I seen him cutting south along the canyon. Who's down in the barn?
Just somebody passing through.
Yeah?
What are you doing?
Well, I'm just gonna see how sick he really is.
Get out of this house.
How'd I know he wasn't just sitting there waiting for me to turn my back so he could jump me?
He can't hurt you.
Well, I know that, ma'am, now. I seen lots of men like him in the war. Men couldn't fight no more. They said killing made them sick in the head, that they weren't fit to kill no more.
They's wrong. And I showed them how wrong they were. Any man can learn how to kill. I got my first man on my 15th birthday. That's quite a birthday present, wasn't it? Where you going?
Oh, nowhere. I was just...
Is he your man?
Yes?
Then you don't want to do nothing that'd force me to kill him, would you? Morning, I'll borrow me a fresh horse. That'd be the last you see of me. But in the meantime, why don't you and me get friendly?
Please, don't.
Oh, no, now, who's gonna know? That half a man sitting there like a corpse?
Don't touch me.
How long has it been since a real man kissed you?
Don't touch me if you...
That's just what I intend to do.
If you do, I'll scream and it'll come running out.
Vint? Vint Bonner?
Don't you touch me again.
I thought pretty girls like being kissed. The scream ought to bring Bonner running. You just stand right over here and keep quiet, and nobody will get hurt. Just hold it. All right, now get up. Get up. Get away from him. I heard of you, Bonner. But I heard you were smart. Maybe you ain't so smart, Bonner.
Maybe you're right, Pierce.
You heard of me too, huh? I guess everybody knows who I am.
There's a posse not far from here. If you're smart, you'll get on your horse and make tracks.
That's just what I aim to do come morning. And when that posse gets back, I'm gonna be long gone.
What are your plans for us?
Well, I thought I just might make you squirm a little bit. Matt Pierce is going to make the great Vint Bonner squirm. Now, how'd you like that, Mr. Bonner? And then maybe we can sit down and you can tell me a whole bunch of lies about how fast you are with a gun. And then in the morning, I'm going to kill you. Unless between now and then you can figure some way to get this rifle away from him. I hope you was going to make some coffee.
Yes, that's what I was going to do.
Well, I like mine strong. How about you, Bonner? Try something like that once more, and I won't wait till morning to kill you.
You better hold on to that rifle. Because I'm going to take you apart.
When that rain stops, I'm gone. You got from now to then. That girl must think a lot of you, Bonner, risking her life trying to get that gun to you. Daylight's come, Bonner. It's time for you and me to take a little walk. On your feet.
Melanie, Melanie.
dead?
No. He'll live.
Load him up, boys. We're on our way back to Carlsberg. I never thought we'd take him back alive.
What brought you back this way, Sheriff?
Flash flood south. We knew he couldn't have got through that way, so we doubled back. I'm sorry to say we found the body of old Josh by the trail, not far back.
Oh.
Morning, Sheriff. Ben, it looks like Jim's going to be all right now.
Good morning, Melanie.
Morning, Vin.
Good morning, Jim.
Sheriff?
Melanie? See you around, Jim. Well, we've got a long ride ahead of us. I guess we better move out. So long, Vint. And thanks.
Thank you. Melanie? Jim, I'm sorry to have to tell you this, but Sheriff found old Josh's body on the trail. He's dead.
Oh, Vint.
Everything's going to be all right now, Melanie.
Bright day coming on.
Does look like there's going to be sunshine.
River far, far away, there's where my heart am longing ever, that's where the old folks stay. All the world am sad and
Must be improving. We never took any notice before.
Pardon me, I'd appreciate your pointing out the Abilene Trail.
Well, that trail's kind of hard to find even in the daylight, man.
Well, if you'll just point out the direction, I'll be greatly obliged.
All right, you see the Big Dipper right up there? It points to Polaris. That's the North Star. You just follow that and you'll end up right in Abilene.
I guess I'm not much good at following stars.
At night, the prairie's like an ocean. You have to learn to navigate.
I'll pay you to guide me.
I'm not going that way. Besides, it'd be better for you to wait till morning and then go on. My bacon's burning.
Look, I'll give you $100 to take me to the railroad.
Say, would you like some of these beans?
2.
I'm not a bad cook.
3.
Are you running from or to something?
No questions and you can name your own price.
Look, young lady, there's too many things about you that don't add up. First, your horse is kind of poorly, and that saddle cost you plenty. You're dressed in plain prairie goods, and your pocketbook's bulging with greenbacks.
Look, I want to hire a guide, not a fortune teller.
I like to know who I'm working for and what I'm being hired for. Here, have some of these beans. You'll feel a lot better. Now, I'm not that bad a cook.
You're a fine cook. It's me. I'm all mixed up. I failed.
About what?
Everything.
I remember I felt that way once. I must have been about 16 years old.
You don't understand. He's coming after me.
A real man doesn't hesitate to act.
You want a little help, senor?
You know better than to try and run away.
I'm not taking orders from you, not anymore.
You're coming back. I'm warning you, Abigail.
Don't threaten me.
Garcia, my friend, what would you do if a woman hit you like that?
If any of my muchachas were to do that to me, I would cut off a finger, so they remember not to do it again.
Here, tie her up. You've been too gentle with her.
We do not have all night, senor.
I was hoping you wouldn't do that. This lady's going to Abilene with me.
She's coming back.
I don't think so.
Oh, he doesn't think so.
A man's a fool when he argues against 3-to-1 odds.
You changed your mind, ma'am?
Yes, I'm going home with him.
Home?
I'm his wife. This is Peter Garrick.
It's bad business to mix between a husband and wife, senor. It's a quick way to get hurt. You keep winning like this, and nobody out west is going to deal you in.
You gentlemen won't believe we did any gambling back east.
Well, then I'd say you did right to come out west.
Sure. Look what I have to show for a year's farming.
Farming? That's no good. That's what I did when I first come out here. Take a lifetime to scrounge out a few $1,000s. I told you, Peter. You can do better than struggle with a farm all your life. What do you say, Peter?
Let's ride to town. I've got some business at the bank.
Senor, nos vamos.
We're waiting, Peter.
It's you.
I thought you'd be expecting me.
Why?
Well, there's $500 in this. Kind of careless, aren't you?
Come in. Thank you. Oh, you expect a reward.
No, ma'am. You know, as long as I live, I don't think I'll ever understand women.
Why?
Well, if you'd stood pat last night, you'd be halfway to Abilene by now.
And you'd have been dead by now.
What?
Those two men, Matt and Garcia, they're killers. I came back here to save your life.
You know, I've changed my mind about that reward. No, I think perhaps I owe you something. Could I talk to you? Would you sit down?
Well, hello, Peter.
Mr. Loring?
Oh, how are you, Peter?
Mr. Loring?
Come in, sit down. Thank you. Anything special on your mind?
As a matter of fact, there is. The thing that bothers me is the payment on my ranch is due, and,
Well, now, don't worry about it, son. We know that things can get a little rough. I'll give you another extension.
Mr. Loring, I'm thinking of selling out.
You let your ranch run down, Peter. It isn't worth much the way it stands. Now, why don't you take a few $100s of your wife's money and spruce the place up, and then sell it?
Abigail's money isn't mine.
Oh, that's nonsense, Peter. Don't be so proud.
We still have that letter of credit their father left with us, untouched.
My parents helped us get started, and we're certainly going to help our kids.
Setting up a ranch isn't easy, Peter. Especially for city-bred folks who never had any experience at it.
Isn't there any other place we could keep these things?
No, Ethel, I'm sorry. We're going to have to take all those ledgers out of there now. We won't have any time tomorrow morning, and we've got to have every inch of space in there for that shipment of gold.
May I help you?
Please.
You know, Peter, your ranch has fine possibilities. One more year of work and...
Stop, don't touch that inkwell. Oh, thank heaven. I told you that thing is dangerous.
That's my bandit killer. We have the inkwell rigged up to the trigger of that shotgun up there. It's aimed at the other side of the teller's cage. All Ethel has to do is to move the inkwell and one bandit less.
It makes me nervous.
I tried it once. It blasted out that side window there. Oh, Peter, about selling your ranch, I'm against it. You're an intelligent man. There's no reason why you can't make a go of it.
Made up my mind, Mr. Loring. I'm going into a new business. But I want to thank you for everything you've done for both of us. You've been a real help.
I'm sorry to see you go.
Mrs. Loring?
Bye, Peter.
Any luck?
Tomorrow.
Oh, that's fine, Peter. Any idea how much?
They're cleaning out the safe to make room for it.
What's the matter, Peter? Your conscience bothering you about the Lorings?
They were good friends of mine.
Sure, I can understand that. But out west, a man must be able to seize an opportunity. Unless, of course, he lacks the courage or the strength to succeed.
Robbing a bank. You call that courage?
Well, a man can always quit. Drag himself and his wife back east.
I'm not dragging anything anywhere back east. What time do you want me to meet you tomorrow?
When the bank closes. Garcia. Follow him.
But it's getting dark, and my muchacha is waiting for me.
Better wait. I think our friend Peter might need some company. Make sure he goes straight home and doesn't change his mind.
What if he changes his mind after he gets home? After he sees his wife?
He won't.
You didn't have to escort me home.
It was nothing, senor.
I'll see you tomorrow.
See? Senor! Perhaps you have another bottle?
I'll see.
Bar is closed, amigo.
Oh, the senor who mixes between husbands and wives. I don't like you.
You know something? I feel the same way about you.
You got off very lucky the last time, senor.
You think I'll have a chance to try my luck again? Adios, amigo. On your horse.
Garcia. Garcia had to leave. Kind of a hurry, as a matter of fact. Take your hat off. You're not going anyplace. Take it off. Here. Come over here. Pick up the apron. Go on, pick it up. Put it on. We're going to do some homework, teacher.
Who told you I was a schoolmaster?
Well, your wife and I had a long talk. We talked about the both of you. Your first lesson's going to be in advanced dishwashing, so put on the apron. That's right. It looks nice. You're going to need some hot water, so you better put the kettle on, too. Now, stack the dirty dishes on the drain board. That's nice. Don't you love her anymore?
What business is that of yours?
Well, now, I've never had any personal experience with matrimony, but I'm told that it's a share and share-like proposition. She's willing to share what you've got. Why don't you share what she has?
A man does not live on his wife's money.
Go on.
I don't know why she ever married me. Her father is rich. Gave her everything she's ever wanted.
She told me that.
Did she tell you how much a teacher gets paid? That her father paid for our luxuries, even our necessities that I couldn't afford? That I came out west to become a rich, independent rancher? That I'm a failure?
What's that got to do with Matt Devlin?
When an animal gets caught in a trap, nobody in the world has a right to judge how he gets himself free, not you or my wife or anybody.
That water's hot enough now. Now you pour that in the dishpan. Gonna be a lot of things cleaned up around here tonight. Now you put the dishes in the dishpan. Good, good. Now you take the soap and wash the dishes.
There it is, right on schedule. Come closing time, all we need is for Peter to put him off that guard inside the bank.
Maybe that hombre will not let him come.
Nobody's gonna stop Peter. He's hungry. Oh, not in his belly. Inside his head, where it counts.
Want some more coffee?
I'll get it.
No, Peter. Peter, Abigail wants some more coffee. All right, Bonner. You've had me up all night. Sweeping, dusting, washing. All right, you've made your point. A woman leads a dog's life. Her work is never done. Poor.
I'll have some, too.
Thank you, Peter.
Thank him. How long do you intend to keep this up?
That depends.
On what?
On Abigail here.
Peter, do you think we could ever learn to talk to one another again?
There's nothing to talk about.
It's no use.
Don't worry. I think we made some headway.
Back east, words came so easy. Many times we'd start to say the same thing at the same times. We knew what was in each other's heart.
Nice of them to bring the gold. Real considerate.
I hope
hope you're right about Peter.
Now, don't worry, he'll be here. Take my word, you can bank on it.
Peter was a fine teacher.
I can't say as I ever heard of many men teachers.
Teaching's a man-sized job, just like doctoring or engineering or any other kind of hard, honest labor.
Oh, I didn't mean anything by it.
Well, I didn't like the tone of voice you used. Peter was more than just a teacher. He was an educator. He fought for better schools.
How'd they do that?
By writing books. Like these. By speaking at conventions, by going around and...
Sounds like a man-sized job.
More than most people realize.
Schools should be filled with new ideas, not stuffed with old facts.
Sometimes I feel that our marriage has done Peter a terrible injustice.
Go west, young man. I don't suppose anybody ever questions that.
The West is supposed to be the land of opportunity.
Land of opportunity for a man is where he's needed the most, and where he's the most useful, east or west.
I guess we never realized that. Peter? 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 He's gone.
Where?
With Matt and Garcia to rob the Loring Bank. I've heard them plan it, every detail of it.
What?
My fine husband, the teacher's become Matt Devlin's pupil.
Abigail, you want to help?
Can we, Mr. Bonner?
If you'll do what I say, and be careful, maybe we can.
Peter goes into the bank first.
I follow and take care of the banker.
I'll be at the window watching the street.
I tell the bankers... No, I can't do it, Matt. You've got to call it off.
Call it off? Here's the chance you've been waiting for all these months.
I've changed my mind.
Well, I haven't. There must be $100,000 of gold in there. You know what that means? No more holding up stagecoaches. No more penny ante robberies. I've been waiting for this for years. And you're not gonna spoil it for me now, Mr. Garrick. The Lorings trust you, and you're gonna get that gold for us.
No.
Don't waste your knife on him. If you don't go through with your part of the deal, Garcia and his knife will pay a visit to your wife, understand? You won't be needing that. Come on, we'll check on the horses.
Come in, Peter.
Very quiet. This knife flies very fast.
Mrs. Loring, if you do what you're told, you won't be hurt. We want that gold.
Tell her to bring them all out. We know how much there is.
You better do as he says, Mrs. Loring.
When I tell you to duck, duck.
Now!
are 2 more outside.
The marshal's got them well in tow.
Everything's been taken care of.
That is everything but one thing.
Mr. Loring, I want you to sell our ranch.
Peter, where'll we go?
Back home. I'm going to get my old job back. And we're going to live on my salary. A teacher's salary.
As Greeley was wrong. Go east, young man. This is still a young country, and like any youngster, it's wild and undisciplined. There are a lot of ways to make a living. Right ways and wrong ways. They all have one thing in common. They're dangerous. Take a stagecoach driver, for instance. It's an honest way to make a living, but it's not safe. Kind of hard to say what makes a man pick a profession. There's the gambler. It's not what you'd call a safe line of work either, because his life expectancy isn't very long. Then I knew a fellow once who drove a dynamite wagon. I knew him a very short time. Some people are horse thieves by profession. Out here, they just don't live long at all. I guess it all goes to show you that a man's going to be what he's got to be. Sometimes it doesn't make any rhyme or reason, but there it is. I had an old friend, Doc Kemmer, who was kind of a combination con man, bootlegger, and witch doctor, which wasn't the safest profession, but he'd grown to be a pretty old man, and because of his good nature, was regarded with affection by the people to whom he peddled his cure-all. I ran into him every year or two. And as I pulled up into Prairie City that fall, there he was again.
This here bottle is guaranteed to cure every ill that flesh you there too. And if used around the house, it'll rid your household of every pest from cockroaches, bed bugs, flies, fleas, and poor relations. And furthermore, my friends, for them that's left-handed, I got a special left-handed bottle here, you see? It pours equally well. Left hand, or the right hand. Now, this here bottle, I'm just about to offer you. I ain't asking you $5 for it. I ain't asking you for... hello there, Vint. yeah, folks, you all know Vint Bonner. Just a few years ago, he was so measly, so skinny, so porky, you had to look at him twice in order to see him once. But look at him now. Look at him now. As tall as a pine tree, as tough as an oak, and as agile as an antelope.
Oh, that does it.
And do you know, ladies and gentlemen, to what he owes this here personal pulchritude?
Not that belly wash you're peddling.
Oh, hello there, Doc. Yeah, have you come for your free bottle? There you are, Doc. That, my friends, is what you call professional courtesy.
You look like you ought to have some sense. Sometimes I wonder. Paying good money for slop like this that couldn't cure a dog of last year's fleas. Then I figured better from you. You know what you're buying? You got any idea? Cheap alcohol and coloring matter mixed with fast talk.
Now listen to me, Doc.
Anybody needs a drink that bad, I'll be glad to buy him one.
I'd be glad to take you up on that.
Anybody but you.
Temper. That, my friends, comes from too much liver bile poured into the bloodstream. But here's the thing that'll stop it. Just one bottle of old Doc Kemmer's miracle cure. Now, today I'm offering you a special buy. I ain't asking you $5 for this. It's worth 10. I ain't asking you 5, I ain't asking you 4, 3, 2. I'm asking you one measly silver dollar. That's all I'm asking. Step up, folks, step up. I got plenty for all. I tell you, as a special sale today, I'm going to knock the price down to 6 bits. 4 bits. 2 bits. First man that steps up can get a bottle free. I got... Yeah, kind of looks like I'll have to give a supper show to make up for this. When'd you get into town?
Just now. I'll see you later, Doc. Say, promise not to use me as bait, will you?
I want a drink. Like I just told you, I want a drink.
Like I just said, I can't give you no drink. I got orders from Doc Hallop.
Doc Hallop doesn't tell me when to have a thirst.
I'm sorry, Hode. I'm beholden to him. I'm going to count to 5. There better be a drink on the bar before I'm through. 1, 2.
Oh, he's not armed.
Listen, Bonner, I don't want no trouble from you.
Looks like he feels the same way about you.
I'll be back.
It looks like I owe you a beer.
Well, if you paid me, you wouldn't owe me.
Come on in, Hode. I know you tried to buy a drink.
A man's got some rights.
Doctor's got duties.
You got a duty to tell the truth.
I told you the truth. I told you this morning.
There ain't nothing wrong with me. Look at them hands. There ain't a man in town I can't break into.
You won't do any more fighting, Hode.
You're tricking me. On account of Amy.
My sister's got nothing to do with this.
You've been trying to keep us apart. You packed her off to New Orleans.
We've got family there. They wanted to see her. Hode, it's just possible I could be wrong. But you don't have to take my word for it. You could see some doctors in St. Louis.
St. Louis? That'd suit you just fine. To get me out of town before Amy gets back.
All right, then. Stay.
Half alive, half dead like you're making me out? No, sir. I ain't buying, Doc.
It's your life.
Maybe there's no help for me. Maybe you're telling the truth. But if you're lying, somebody could die. Somebody. And it wouldn't be me.
It's Vin Bonner.
Oh, come in, Vin. Come in. Make yourself at home.
Don't tell me you drink the stuff yourself.
Sure, it don't taste so bad when you get used to it. Besides, I've been having them pains.
How long?
Oh, past 3 or 4 months now. Feels like somebody was jabbing a hot poker in my gut.
Maybe you ought to see Doc Hallop.
Not in your tin type. Folks see me going into a doctor's office, I'd never sell another bottle. Here, have a snort on the house. Go on, it's fresh.
I could make a cold water man out of me. Besides, you and I both know it's belly wash, just like the doc said. All it is alcohol and coloring. And what's that you're putting in?
Yeah, that's just quinine. That's to make it taste bitter. Here's the funny thing. Folks ain't got no faith in a remedy less than it tastes bad. All right. That's one of the first things you learn in the druggist trade.
Next, you're going to tell me that you used to be a druggist.
Sure I was. Had my own store back in Illinois, right on the main street, right in the middle of town. Was doing the fine business. Had a good reputation myself, too. And suddenly, you make a mistake. Just one mistake. That's all.
Didn't you ever think of starting over again? In a town like this? Doc Hallop could use a man like you.
Yeah, I'm doing all right. I don't need Doc Hallop.
Maybe he needs you.
The other folks needs me more.
Oh, come now, Doc. You know and I know that you are a fake.
Fake? What are you talking about, fake? You got any idea how many folks this here stuff helps? Folks that think they're sick and they ain't, this here makes them feel fine. Then there's folks that doctors give up for lost. This here stuff gives them hope. And Vint, without hope, a man might just as well be dead.
Oh, sure. And then there are the folks who just like to get soused respectable.
Sure. You take like fellas that don't dast go near a saloon because their wives don't hold with drinking liquor. You got any idea how many families this here stuff holds together? Have you got... Oh.
You gotta do something about that pain or you're not gonna hold together.
All right.
Expecting someone, Doc?
You never know. Won't say I was expecting you after the way I cussed you out. You're glad you dropped in. Vint, I'm sorry I had to tie into you. Nothing personal.
No harm taken.
It just surprised me to see you with that old goat.
Oh, you mean the doc?
Don't call him that in this office. Faker, charlatan, liar, cheat. Call him anything you want, but don't call him doctor.
All right, Doc. I won't call the doc. Sorry.
Nothing to joke about. Man's dangerous. I'd sooner see smallpox in town. It's good to see you all in one piece. How do you do it, Vin?
Oh, I manage. Of course, once in a while I run into some trouble. Say, Doctor, what does it mean if you got a pain down low about here?
What kind of pain?
Oh, sharp, tearing. Well, like something's pulling the hinges loose.
How often?
Every few minutes.
Well, it could be almost anything. Obstruction, tumor, inflamed appendix.
Serious?
Coming like that. Severe and frequent. Yes, I would guess it was serious. But you don't look too sick.
No, it's not me.
Then you better tell your friend to come in.
I already have. Oh, thanks. How much do I owe you?
Say, $2 million?
Huh?
Maybe you can do me a favor sometime.
Maybe I can now. I just came from the saloon.
You mean Hode?
Yeah, he's mad, real mad. Thinks you're being real rough on him.
I know what I'm doing.
Doesn't sound like you, though. Just one drink down
He
again.
won't stop with one. He never does. To get himself drunk and go roaring around, I can't let him vent. He's sick.
Bad?
Real bad. His heart.
Oh. Well, thanks again.
Here, I've got money to buy. Well, are you going to sell it to me or not?
Sure, I'm going to sell it to you. Ain't nobody never had to make me sell nothing. How many bottles you want?
3.
3, all right. Here you are. Cash on the barrelhead, young fella. Right on the barrelhead. Yep, you can come up with 6 bits more. This here is $1.25 after office hours. There you are. There.
You're sure this stuff will do what you say?
Sure, I'm sure. I've been using it myself for 20 years. Never had nary ache nor pain.
You ain't tricking me. You'd give me your word.
Look here, it's written right here on the bottle. See that? It says it tones up the liver, aids digestion, enriches the blood, fortifies the heart, and regulates the bile. A secret formula handed down through generations of Indian medicine men. What? And I don't guess I left out nothing vital.
Hode? I'm sorry about what happened in the saloon. It actually wasn't any of my business.
Yeah.
Oh, hello, Vin.
Has Hode Emery been here?
Oh, Hode Emery?
You know who I mean, the fellow in the crowd that the doc straightened out. Has he been here?
Well, let me see now.
Did you sell him anything?
Huh? Well, you know, now that you mentioned
Look,
it...
answer me.
What?
Did you sell him any of that hogwash of yours, and if so, how many bottles?
I only sold him 3 bottles. I didn't cheat him or nothing. I just charged him the regular price. What's all the fuss about?
He's liable to get himself drunk.
Well, he's a grown man, ain't he?
He's sick. If he gets drunk, he might die. If he dies, you're in trouble.
Shooting off my mouth like that, I figured it cost me 2 years practice and free drinks. Where's everybody, Jake? You're not talking much today. Where is everybody?
Oh, I hear they got a game going.
Oh, where?
Hode Emery's store.
Is Hode playing? Well, is he?
Doc, he's mean. Now, you stay clear of him.
Well, I'll just make that a small $5.
$5 ain't never been small to me.
Gonna get bigger all the time. Gonna weed out the boys before this hand is over. Come on, cowboy. It's only money, that's all.
Well, in that case, I'll see you a 5 and raise you 5.
That's good. That's real good. I sure like a man who knows how to make fun. Well, I'll just make that another 5. We'll have them running for the tall grass.
I'll see you while I can.
Cards.
2. You ain't taking none?
No need to take when you got. Cowboy, I'm going to show you cards that medicine fella don't even know about. Hello, Bonner.
Hi, Hode. Can I see you a moment? I'd like to look at one of your saddles.
Can't help you now. I'm closed for business. Open for pleasure, though. You're welcome to join.
No, thanks.
Anybody got the rheumatism? I got a Doc Hallop. They're scared.
Yeah, well, they're smart. If you were, you wouldn't be drinking that stuff.
Why not? I'm feeling fine. Ain't felt this good in months. Nothing wrong with me.
Doc Hallop says there is.
Doc Hallop is wrong.
Look, Hode.
Bonner, I ain't drunk enough to draw against you.
Nor sober enough either.
Wouldn't matter. I wouldn't stand a chance. But guns ain't the only way to settle things. We'd be pretty near even with our fists. Hey, tell me you're a pretty big man, Bonner. Want to prove it?
I can't fight you, Hode.
Then leave me be. Stay out of my business. What do you got?
3 trays. What do you know? My little tray stand up.
Aces over 8s. Dead man's hand.
Hey, Doc.
Doc?
You want another? No. But it might do you some good. Look, you gotta stop worrying yourself about Hode. There's only so much a man can do.
Doc Killer.
He'll kill you, Doc, without even thinking twice. I'm telling you, you stay away from that store. Now, let me give you another little drink. Here.
Tell him, Doc.
I'll bet I can't.
You've got to. It's an emergency. He could kill himself.
I didn't know that stuff was poison to him.
Doctor? Come on.
Put that bottle down. You heard what I said?
Well, I heard you fine, Doc. I heard you fine. Are you aiming to charge me for this visit, Doc? Any case, you saved me some trouble. I'd have come after you.
You're talking out of the bottle, Hode.
You told me I didn't have a chance. You said there wasn't anything could help.
There isn't.
Well, this stuff's doing pretty good. I feel fine. You lied to me, Doc.
That's not true.
You tried to make a half a man out of me. Couldn't do a whole day's work. Couldn't buy a drink. Couldn't support a wife. Tell him why, Doc.
Because you can't.
Because you were scared I'd marry your sister. Because you don't think I'm good enough for her.
I don't think you're right for her or for yourself. Not until you stop injuring yourself all the time with that stuff. I'm not tricking you, Hode. Every drop you drink.
You're lying. I told you what had happened. Did you lie to me?
He ain't lying. He ain't lying. He's
Put
just
the
trying
gun
to
away,
help
Hode.
you.
All right, Doc, tell him what's in the bottle.
Oh, Vin, don't make me.
Doc, tell him what's in the bottles.
Vin, I can't. It's a secret formula. It took me years to build it up. If he ain't happy, I'll give him back his money.
You can't give him back his life. Now tell him.
Well, it's mostly just alcohol and water and little vegetable coloring, you know, and then some quinine to give it a bad taste.
That's all?
That's all, yeah.
I was feeling so right. I was so sure. You gave me your word. You promised. You said it would help.
I wasn't intentioning to hurt nobody.
You lied! You lied!
Will he all right? I don't know. I can't tell you. Hey, boys, give him a hand.
All that homemade rot good had been drinking, I hardly had to use any chloroform.
Well, tell him when he comes to. And don't try and tell him it wasn't good for something.
Good for fools. Hadn't been for that bullet, he might have been dead. That appendix you were talking about?
Yeah?
Could have ruptured any minute. I took it out when I went after the bullet.
Vince.
Don't try to talk.
Vince, that young fella, he didn't mean no harm to nobody. He was just scared, that's all.
Well, he's not scared anymore.
Well, how come he ain't...
Plenty of time to ask questions. Be around for quite a spell.
I might have known once you got me down, you'd keep me down.
Well, you won't be down for long, and while you're getting better, you can assist the doctor here.
I don't know nothing about doctrine.
Just so you admit it. I'll get some rest. We'll talk about it tomorrow.
Yeah, looky here. Doc, I ain't got no business no more, you know. I'm going to pay for this share. What's this here thing going to cost?
Nothing.
Nothing?
It's what you call professional courtesy.
Yeah.
Last I heard of Doc Kemmer, he'd turned honest. He'd become a legitimate pharmacist. Of course, he still mixed his own private brew. Couldn't stand bar whiskey. He missed that quinine taste.
job, but it has its drawbacks. For instance, I, for one, don't like sleeping on railroad ties. That's why when I was working through the southern part of Arizona, I was happy to find accommodations for a few days with Abigail and Elizabeth's suite. These two gentle little old spinsters took me in, adopted me, mothered me, heaped kindness on me. I liked it. Of course, you can stand only so much kindness, too.
Mr. Bonner? Good morning, Mr. Bonner.
Good morning, Miss Abigail.
Sister, he's up. Oh, did you sleep well, Mr. Bonner?
Just fine. Most comfortable bed I ever saw.
Some coffee for you.
Thank you, Miss Abigail.
We wrapped a hot brick in flannel and put it at your feet last night to help keep you warm.
This man burnt my toe.
Oh.
Hello there. Anybody home?
Oh, that sounds like Sheriff Conroy. Good morning, Sheriff.
Good morning, ladies. Is Vint up yet? Oh, Vint! Vint, get up! Come on, I need you, man.
All right. You sure are out early.
I ain't been in yet. Tracking rustlers gives me no time for sleep.
Oh, you poor man.
Did you have any luck?
How do you find spooks? There's no organized gangs in the area. There's no strange cattle shipments. There's nothing unusual at all. This is piecemeal cattle rustling. 3 head at one time, 6 head the next. Some of the folks are blaming renegade Indians. Some folks are blaming squatters. But everybody's blaming me.
Oh, that's a shame, isn't it, Elizabeth?
Yes, my heart goes out to him, Abigail.
Well, thanks, ladies, but your sympathy ain't going to get the Cattlemen's Association off the back of my neck. Vint, you get around a lot with this survey party. Now, have you ever spotted anything that looks unusual?
I'm sorry, Sheriff. I haven't seen a thing.
Well, keep your eyes peeled. I'm heading back to town.
Sheriff, I'm going with you. I got to meet my crew.
Well, take care of yourself, Mr. Bonner, and don't get in any drafts.
Mr. Bonner, are you wearing your...
My what?
Longies.
Yes, Miss Abigail, I've got them on.
Well, here, let me fix your collar.
And remember, if it rains, put on your poncho.
Yes, ladies. Thank you. Let's go, Sheriff.
Goodbye, Abigail.
Goodbye, Mr. Bonner.
Goodbye, Miss Abigail. Goodbye, Miss Elizabeth.
Now, Abigail?
Not now, Elizabeth. Now, Abigail. Now, Elizabeth. Oh, you be a good girl now. Want me to help you? Oh, well. Now let's don't come unglued.
Back around and go back where you come from. Back. There ain't no place around here for squatters.
We got our rights. I'm coming through. Get out of the way.
Don't you try it. Hold it. What's the matter with you people? Is everybody gone loco?
They won't let us into town. We need supplies.
Who are you?
I'm Louise Keller. This is my father. We're homesteaders.
Homesteaders. That's a Tony name for squatters. We ain't selling them nothing. We're gonna starve them out before they rustle some more of our cattle.
She doesn't look like a rustler to me. You men are going off half-cocked. You've got no proof.
Nothing at all to tie him in with rustling. I've checked.
You keep out of this, Sheriff. You ain't done nothing about the rustling.
You go back and tell them other squatters there ain't nothing for sale for them in this town. Not for any of them.
Get out of my way.
That's enough. Now listen to reason. There's more homesteaders in this area than there are ranchers. The merchants of the town rely on their business. Go ahead, starve them out if you want to, but what happens to your town then? That what you want?
All right, men. Clear this wagon out and let them through.
Move it over. Come on. Thank you, Mr. Bonner.
Thank you, Mr. Bonner.
It's quite all right, miss.
Oh, I was just telling the sheriff. That was mighty good thinking, Mr. Bonner.
Vint, this here's Joe Bronson. He's head of the Cattlemen's Association.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, Mr. Bronson.
You know, these small ranch owners are getting out of hand. And there's not much I can do about it.
Can't hardly blame them none. Getting nicked for 2-3 cows at a time.
Whoever's guilty is getting away scot-free. That's what hurts.
Well, mob action ain't going to help any.
But they're not through yet. Maybe you could help us, Mr. Bonner.
I hardly think so, Mr. Bronson. My job's almost finished. I'm leaving town in a couple of days.
Now, you must eat hearty, Mr. Bonner.
Look, Miss Elizabeth. No, thanks.
It's all
Please, you've
for
got
you.
enough here for 10 men. Meat's good, though. Top-grade beef.
Beef? Good gracious, we never eat beef.
What is it?
Why, that's a rutabaga burger.
A what?
A rutabaga burger. We make it with rutabagas and carrots. Everything we cook is made with our own vegetables.
Tastes good. You got another guest for dinner?
Oh, well, she was such a helpless little baby. We thought we'd take her in so we could take care of her. That is until we found out who she belongs to. Isn't it horrible, Mr. Bonner?
What?
Some people actually eat little calves like that.
Not alive, anyway.
We've even heard of people eating calves' liver.
Pretty good with onions.
Oh, steady, sister. Don't faint. Poor, innocent cow people.
Cow people?
So helpless. So completely at the mercy of man's inhumanity.
More coffee, Mr. Bonner?
No, thank you, Miss Abigail. I'm kind of tired all of a sudden.
Well, you've had a big day.
Yeah, I got up kind of early, but maybe I'll just get 40 winks, maybe.
Isn't he a nice boy? Do you think he'll be asleep long, sister?
All night. I put a little something in his coffee. After all, we've got work to do. There's a full moon.
Of course.
Ben, come on, boy. Come on, wake up. Open your eyes.
I feel woozy. I sleep here all night?
Vint, you gotta help me. Another herd was hit last night. The ranchers are mobilizing like an army. They're getting ready to burn houses. Homesteaders' houses.
Well, what do you expect me to do? You talk like I knew the rustlers personally.
Yeah, but they gotta be found, Vint. Only trouble is I don't know where to look next. It's like being lost in a cave and not knowing which way is out. I look one place. Rifles. Nothing. Then I look someplace else. Guns, rope, bullwhip, nothing at all. Then I look in another direction. And I still can't get any place. Stolen cows. Circle C Ranch. Man, you don't think those little ladies could...
There's probably a perfectly reasonable explanation for all this.
Sure.
They probably just... Well, maybe one of them... Well, how could... I give up.
Oh, Mr. Bonner. Oh, you're up. When we left, you were sleeping so soundly, we didn't have the heart to wake you.
And Sheriff Conroy, how nice of you to drop by. We've been out picking wildflowers. Aren't they lovely this time of the year?
Miss Elizabeth, Miss Abigail, Sheriff Conroy wants to ask you something.
Oh? Are you in some kind of trouble, Sheriff Conroy?
No, ma'am, he's not in trouble. Well, while you were out, we found these.
Equipment only cowpunchers would use, or rustlers.
Sister, am I dreaming, or do Mr. Bonner and Sheriff Conroy think we are the cattle rustlers?
I'm afraid they do, sister.
Well, what about those guns and that bullwhip?
We're all alone out here. We need them for protection.
A girl can't be too careful these days.
Well, then what about those lassos?
Oh, is that what they are?
Why, they were left here by the man that we bought this house from. You see, sister? I told you those were too big to be clotheslines.
Gertrude, where have you been? Where have you been?
Well, bless your heart.
But what about it? That's the brand of the Circle C Ranch.
Well, goodness sake. We thought that was a birthmark.
Vint, I think we owe these ladies an apology.
I guess we do.
Good morning, Miss Abigail. Miss Elizabeth.
Good morning.
Sheriff. You and Mr. Bonner got to help us.
Somebody just threw this on my front porch.
They say if we're not off our land by sundown, they're going to run us off.
The 6 head of cattle that disappeared from the Circle C Ranch last night must have been the last straw.
Mr. Bonner, we had a meeting last night. Every homesteader in the valley was there. They couldn't have been out stealing cattle even if they had a mind to.
Mr. Keller, do you mean you're to be driven from your land because of crimes you didn't commit?
Yes, ma'am. They just won't believe that we didn't do it.
Sister, will you help me get a bucket of fresh water for the flowers? Would you excuse us?
Oh, of course, sister.
Courage, my friends. Sister, we have no choice. We cannot let innocent people suffer because of our deeds.
But what about our poor little four-footed friend?
Other eager hands will reach out for the torch when we are forced to yield it.
Oh, how brave you are, sister. How very brave.
It's our duty. Come. Where are the Kellers going?
Home to pack their belongings.
All the homesteaders will be on the trail by sundown.
Their exodus is unnecessary. The true culprits stand before you ready to confess.
Truly.
Ladies, this is no time for jokes.
I assure you, this is no joke. We are the cattle rustlers. Arrest us. Oh, dear. Execute us if you wish. Oh, dear.
Ladies, I know your kind hearts. It's generous of you to want to help the homesteaders, but you can't ask us to believe that you two are cattle rustlers.
You were prepared to believe us a short while ago.
Well, that was before you explained things to us.
Sister, I think these gentlemen need convincing.
Truly they do, sister.
And now, do you believe us? We took the cows to a hidden canyon in the mountains of the Circle C Ranch, and they're so happy.
374 of them. Oh, yes, of course. 376 by now. Marilyn and Eloise were expecting.
But, ladies, why would you steal the cattle?
We weren't stealing them. We were saving them.
For what?
How can you look at that dear, sweet face and ask such a question?
Would you believe it?
There are evil men who want to put Gertrude and those like her in hot, stuffy stomachs and fill them full of food to make them fat and tender. And then lead them to oh, Gertrude. Don't think about it, sister. There, little sister.
But, ladies, how do you expect to save the cow people by just stealing a few of them?
Cow people?
Alone, perhaps not. But all over this world, standing side by side with the animals they love, are people just like us, fighting to stamp out meat-eaters.
Are you out of your mind? Oh, it's true, Joe. They did it. Some idea about making the world safe for cows or something. They did it.
I suppose you'll have to tell the ranchers.
Well, tell the ranchers nothing.
Well, what about them, Joe?
But let them go quick before anybody else finds out they're here. Look, I don't care if they confess to assassinating Lincoln. If the folks in this town find out that we think they're the rustlers, they'll lynch us.
He's right.
Yeah. Well, all right. All right, ladies, you can come out now.
Already?
Yes.
Oh, here, sister, let me put my knitting in your bag.
Do that, dear.
Can we help you in any way?
Oh, no, thank you. Our buggy's at the livery stable.
We are perfectly capable of taking care of ourselves.
That's sure, Miss Abigail.
We'll wait dinner for you.
Thank you, ma'am.
I hope we didn't inconvenience you, ladies.
Oh, no.
I'm terribly sorry about this.
Oh, that's all right.
Goodbye, Sheriff.
Goodbye, Miss Abigail. Goodbye, Miss Elizabeth. Goodbye. Well, it's only a few hours till sundown.
Hold everything just a minute. Look, if the ranchers knew we'd caught the rustlers, that would clear the homesteaders, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Well, then let's give them some rustlers they will believe.
What are you talking about, Ben?
Look, one of us rides down the street yelling at the Dickens. The others rush out and say, that's the rustler. Then, by the time a posse gets organized, we'll be a mile out of town. We can say we shot him and he rolled down a hill in the river or something.
Well, that could be an idea. Nobody'd get wise to us.
Well, who's the rustler we chase out of town?
One of us, change him in different clothes or something. What do you say?
Well, it's worth a try. Oh, but I couldn't do it. You see, it's my word that the cattlemen will have to take that we shot him.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Oh, I'd have to lead the chase, Joe.
You're the sheriff.
That's a rustler. And we caught him red-handed. Yep, certainly looks like him, all right.
Well, I guess it'll take a little time to get up a posse, huh?
That's what you think, Sheriff. All right, boys, man. Miss Elizabeth, we're on the trail of the man that's been doing the cattle rustling. Have you seen anybody come this way?
Well, your cattle rustlers will bother you no longer. Oh, what have I done?
Oh, my sister. My poor little sister.
Now hold it, men. The little ladies are upset. You boys go on home. I'll take care of this.
Are you sure, Sheriff?
Don't you think we ought to go in with you, Sheriff?
No need for you men to stick around. Go ahead. I'll see you in town.
Oh, Miss Elizabeth, I'm sorry. Easy does it. Easy does it.
My poor little sister.
Oh, Vin! Vin, boy!
You were supposed to stall the posse.
Oh, I'm sorry, Vin, but you see, we...
Aside from these, I have 2 bullets in my saddle, and 1 glanced off my stirrup.
Well, I tried to tell the posse you'd gone off the cliff, Vin.
Where do you think I've been?
Well, it all came out all right. You're all in one piece.
No thanks to you. If it hadn't been for Miss Abigail there, I'd be a dead rustler.
Well, thank you, Miss Abigail.
Oh.
Thank you very much.
Thanks from me, too, Miss Abigail.
Oh, I'm sure the homesteaders thank you, too. You are going to give up cattle rustling, aren't you?
Oh, yes. As a matter of fact, we've been thinking that we'd leave this territory altogether. We're going to California.
Yes, to California.
There's a great deal of our work to be done there.
A lot of people moving out that way.
Yes, and so many people are taking cows with them.
Danger, destruction, terror become the order of the day. And as it sickens, evil men arise from nowhere, take control of it, and propel it toward its death. That's what brought me to the dying town of Bluefield. The death of my friend, Billy Humboldt.
late for the preaching, mister.
So I see.
Do you know old Billy?
Yeah, I did a while back. How did he die?
You're asking the wrong man, mister.
Why is that?
That's a question you better ask somebody else.
Court will come to order. You the defendant?
I reckon so.
You're hereby charged with starting a fight at one of the poker tables last night.
But, Judge, I didn't...
How do you plead?
I was cheated. I was just standing up for my rights.
Now, personal indifferences or observations in a game of chance is not the concern of this court. How do you plead?
Not guilty.
Are there any witnesses that saw the defendant start the alleged fight?
I did.
It's the opinion of this court that the defendant... I don't think I caught your name.
Gavin Hardy.
It's the opinion of this court that the defendant, Gavin Hardy, is guilty as charged.
But, Judge,
You're hereby fined $10.
$10.
And 2 bits.
What's the 2 bits for?
To buy the honorable court a drink. Court's adjourned.
Could I buy the judge a drink?
Well, I've never been known to refuse one yet.
Give the magistrate a shot of your best bourbon.
Judge, I see you don't believe in long-winded trials.
Well, no, we here in Bluefield feel a man should be given a just and speedy trial.
I see.
Your health, sir. Well, I guess I better be running along.
Judge, before you go, I wonder if I might ask you a question.
I'm happy to oblige if I can.
Did you know Billy Humboldt?
Well, I guess everybody in Bluefield knew Billy.
How did he die?
Well, as I mentioned before, I got to be running along. Good day, sir.
Three bourbons. Junior here ain't old enough yet.
The stranger down there's been asking some questions.
Hey, you. I understand you've been asking some questions around here.
I suppose I'm curious by nature.
A trait like that can sometimes be the death of a man.
Mighty fancy guns, boy.
Who are you?
Nobody in particular.
Well, listen, Mr. Nobody. You better move on out of Bluefield, and you better take your questions with you.
I'd much rather take the answers.
What's the matter with you, boy? Cat got your tongue?
Sheriff Clark. That's right. I don't think I know you.
My name's Vint Bonner.
Vint Bonner.
I was a friend of Billy Humboldt's.
Pardon me. You know, there's a Miss Ulrich across the street always makes this lunch up for me. 15 years ago, if I'd known she was going to turn out to be a cook like she is, I'd have married her.
Look, Sheriff, why is it every time I mention Billy's name, someone changes the subject?
Why'd you come here?
I'm an old friend of his. I knew he lived here. I thought I'd drop by and say hello. I was just in time for the funeral.
I know. Well, I might just as well tell you now. You're going to find out sooner or later anyway. Billy was killed in a gunfight.
Billy hated guns. He never wore a gun belt in his life.
Billy worked in the claims office here in town. I guess he found out how Tom Carter was getting some of the rich claims in this territory.
And who was Tom Carter?
Tom Carter runs this town along with his son, J.B. J.B. is top gun in this territory. Oh, you'll be running into the Carters.
I think I might already have. Over at the saloon. But don't tell me that boy with the fancy Colts.
No. That's Junior Carter. He's still practicing, hero-worshipping his brother, J.B. J.B.'s been out of town over a week.
Tell me the rest.
Well, anytime there was a rich claim filed at the claims office, the old man would ask the man who filed it to cut him in on a partnership. If he refused, he paid the penalty of meeting J.B. in a gunfight. Obviously, not many of them refused.
Well, how did this tie in with Billy?
Well, Billy tried to organize the men that were forced into these partnerships. He figured if they could stick together, they could stand up against the Carters. The old man got wise. We found Billy out behind the claims house with 6 bullet holes in him and wearing a gun belt.
Didn't anybody hear the gunfire or see the shooting?
Oh, there is talk that there was a man there the same day at the claims office. He was seen riding out of town.
Who would that be?
Old man Blaine, Moss Blaine, is a prospector. I've already talked to him. He says he wasn't there. I can't force the man to say he was.
Where would I find this Moss Blaine?
He's got some diggings up on a little creek off Blue River Canyon. Now, I can tell you how to get there, but it's not going to do you any good to talk to him either.
Look, Sheriff, if I brought you the evidence, would you bring Tom Carter to trial?
I would do anything I could to rid this town of the Carters. Bringing the old man to trial is one thing, and convicting him is another.
Why is that?
Judge Fresno. He's on Tom Carter's payroll. Trying to convict the old man in his court is a joke. I know, I tried once.
Let me try. I'll work with you. It might be a good idea if no one knew who I was.
All right. Seems these things always have to be settled by a gunfight.
I'll do it the best way I can, but one way or another, I'd like to see the man that killed Billy Humboldt brought to justice.
You, Moss Blaine?
That's me.
I was a friend of Billy Humboldt's.
Billy, huh?
That's right. I hear you were around the claims office the day he got shot.
Who told you that?
You were seen.
Well, maybe I was and maybe I wasn't. What do you want from me?
I need your help. I want to bring Tom Carter to trial. Your testimony could convict him.
Well, Billy was my good friend, but there ain't nobody going to bring Tom Carter in. Not with J.B. around.
You're wrong. I'm going to bring him in. I'm asking the sheriff to deputize me.
When did you know Billy?
Long time ago. We were boys in Arizona together.
Billy talked about a boy that growed up in the town he come from. A boy that'd win all the turkey shoots from the menfolk. Man, now, he's still winning all the shooting matches. Not always for turkeys, though. That you? Vint Bonner?
That's right, Moss. And I'd like to know how Billy got killed and why they found him wearing a gun when he never wore one in his life before.
I'll tell you, Bonner. I'd have told before, but it wouldn't be no use when he got me killed. Up to now, Tom Carter don't know that I seen him kill Billy.
How did it happen?
Billy found out about all the men that Carter'd made to sign over half interest in their claims. He'd taken a paper around for the men to sign so he could turn it over to the United States Marshal.
I see.
Well, Carter found out about it.
I was just riding up to the claims office when I seen him and his 2 hired guns drag Billy out back. They didn't see me. It took all 3 of them to strap that gun on Billy. Carter said he wanted it to be a fair fight. Billy didn't even draw. Nothing an old man like me could do to help him.
Carter shot him down in cold blood.
The first shot killed him, and then he emptied the gun at him.
Will you help me, Moss?
Yeah. What do you want me to do?
I want you to testify against Tom Carter. You better stay hidden up in these hills. I don't think he'd like the idea much.
I'll keep in one hunk. I wouldn't miss that trial for a nugget as big as your fist.
So long, Moss.
This'll be draw. Jacks are better. Well, what do you think you're up to, Clark?
Oh, I know what I'm up to.
Yeah?
I'm putting you under arrest. You're going to stand trial for the murder of Billy Humboldt.
You're gonna lock me up?
That's right, Carter. On your feet, loudmouth.
You keep sticking your nose in a hornet's nest, Mr. Nobody, and you're going to get stung permanent.
Pa, let me have it.
Oh, no. You're not ready, son. JB will be back in town tomorrow. He'll take care of Mr. Nobody for us.
Pa, you're not going to let him jail you.
Why not? Ought to be a very interesting trial, huh? You look like a gambling man. I'll lay you 3 to 1 I walk out of this courtroom a free man. What do you say, Mr. Nobody?
I say let's get going.
Pa, don't go with him. I can handle him if no one can.
Look, I've had a belly full of you, Carters. You take your hands off those fancy guns or I'll put a hole in you, son. Now take them off.
JB will take care of him, son.
And I'm here. Now move.
Keep a seat warm, boys. This won't take too long.
I'll have my say before this trial is over.
Wake up.
Oh, hello, JB. I was just...
Never mind what you was having. Where's Paul?
Haven't you heard?
Heard what? What are you talking about?
About your father?
What are you trying to say, you drunken slop?
Well, your father's in jail.
In jail for what?
The charge is for the murder of Billy Humboldt. But don't worry none, JB. I wouldn't let your father down. He's got nothing to fear. As long as I'm on the bench,
You mean to sit there and tell me that my pa was arrested by Sheriff Clark?
Well, there was another man with him, a stranger here in Bluefield. Clark deputized him.
Where can I find this new deputy?
I guess over to jail.
Hey, JB.
You let him arrest Paul.
I guess you heard what happened. I just come from talking with Pa. Pa wouldn't let me call out the new deputy. He wanted to wait till you got home. Oh, I wanted to take him out, JB, and I'd have done it just like you showed me. Only Pa wouldn't let me. Wait a minute, JB. Pa doesn't want you to do nothing yet. He wants to stand trial. Then when he gets let out, they can't try him again no matter what they find out. Isn't that right, Judge? They call it double jeopardy. That's right. And after the trial, Pa says that new deputy's yours, JB. All yours.
All right. I reckon Pa knows what he's doing. I don't want nothing to go wrong at that trial, Judge. Nothing, you understand?
Oh, nothing's gonna go wrong, JB. I swear.
No, I believe you. I believe you, Judge. Well, now, I don't guess it'd do any harm to go over and have a little talk with that new deputy, would it?
I'll go with you. He's over.
No. You stay here and get him sobered up. And you better stay sober until the trial, Your Honor.
Be careful, JB. Nobody knows who he is. Talk is he might be a big-time gunfighter.
Good. The bigger time he is, the better I like it.
Hey, Judge.
Order in the court here.
Oh, come on.
You the new deputy sheriff?
That's right.
I'm J.B. Carter.
Somehow I figured you might be.
What are you reading, deputy?
Book of poems.
So you're the new big-time gunfighter, reading poems.
Who said I was a gunfighter?
Folks around here just guessing. I kind of hoped you was. Not much fun whipping ordinary gun hands.
If you want to see your father, you're going to have to take that gun off.
Don't you be giving me no orders, deputy. Or else I might not wait until after the trial to kill you.
Oh, you going to kill me?
You know where I've been, deputy, this past week? I rode all the way over to a little town 100 miles from here just to meet a man who's bragging he's faster than I am. His name's Clell Pierce. You probably heard of him. They give him a real nice funeral. You're a good-sized man, deputy. I just hope you'll fit in that grave up on Boot Hill, next to Billy Humboldt.
So you had company? Yep. I don't see how you can take the likes of J.B. Carter so lightly. He's a killer, and a good one, too.
So he informed me.
Selected poetry?
I read it once in a while. It
Relaxes me. I gave Moss Blaine your message. He said he'd be here Thursday noon in time for the trial.
Thanks. I'm going to be leaving town for a few days.
Leaving?
Yeah, I've got this idea I want to work out. I'll be back in time for the trial.
I guess you know you're going to have to fight J.B.
I know.
I'll wager he'll look you up as soon as the trial is over.
I'll be here.
Oh, Vint, one thing about J.B. He always rubs his trigger finger against his thumb. When he stops rubbing, he draws.
Thanks, I remember.